Hello everyone, welcome back. Savage is here, coming back with not a new part of What If Deku Was a Villain, but instead it's a recap episode. Why, you may ask? Well, some of you may have already noticed that there is no first part to this What If of What If Deku Was a Villain, so the reason for that is the fact that YouTube took down that video. Why? I really don't have any idea on why was that. But I tried to upload the video again and they still took it down. I tried to montage it a bit more and it's still been took down. Until I just gave up and deleted the whole video, which was fucking annoying, but regardless. Now there is no first part of this What If, so I was looking to myself in the ceiling, and don't ask me how I did that, and I said, I can't just let this series with no first part, so I'll make this video which is a recap episode of the episode 1, because I'm lazy to remake it. Okay? Okay. Now, what happened in part 1 was simply the same thing as usual. Midoriya's life being an absolute hell, Baku bullying him to the fullest, and eventually being attacked by the sludge villain. All Might saving him, Midoriya grab into his shirt, and finally end up on a rooftop. All Might revealing his secret after buffing down to his smaller form. Midoriya asking him the question, All Might answer with no. After a while, Midoriya just goes back to his home, walking in shame and sadness, before hearing an explosion and immediately running to the sound where that came from, to see Bakugo stuck inside the sludge villain, looking at himself saying that that was his fault. If he just didn't grab into All Might, maybe All Might was never going to lose the sludge villain. Seeing Small Might in the crowd, once saying in his mind that All Might won't be able to do anything because, well, he doesn't have his power right now, and the hero is not doing anything, Midoriya couldn't bear the weight of being the reason for Bakugo's death, so he ran in there and tried to save Bakugo, throwing his back on the sludge villain's eyes, immediately trying to free Bakugo, giving him a couple of seconds to be actually able to breathe. However, the sludge villain immediately got himself back together and tried to attack Midoriya, before All Might shows up and saves both of the kids. Midoriya tried to thank All Might, but All Might just grabbing him by his shirts, screaming at his face that that was just stupidity. Throwing your life on the line like an idiot is not heroism, it's just stupidity. And the fact that he just ran out there while pro heroes were handling the situation. Midoriya trying to say that nobody was doing anything, someone had to step in and save him, or as All Might just keep insulting him and scolding him for his actions, telling him that everything was under control if he just didn't show up, and he can't be a hero, so stop being a hero. You are quirkless. Regardless, this words just echoing in his head, looking down, just crying. All Might finally realizing what he'd done, trying to apologize from the kid before the kid just, well, runs off, not even grabbing his back with him. All Might tried to follow him, but the news reporter is stopping him and start asking him question. After a while, Midoriya just hides in an alleyway, just crying to himself about why every time he does something right, this world just slap him on his face and get him back to reality. As he getting angrier, not on the fact that All Might screamed at his face, not at the fact that he can't be a hero, but on the fact that why didn't he just let Bakugo die? It was a golden opportunity and he just saved him like an idiot, and what did he get in return? Just more scolding, and Bakugo getting all the praise as usual, as he just kicks a garbage bag, swearing on himself that if he only had some sort of power, he would have showed all of those assholes what he's truly capable of. He would have never saved Baku if he could just get a second chance to let him die. But after screaming to himself for quite a while and calming down, he starts walking back into his home, before All Might slides in front of him. Midoriya seeing All Might, thinking that he will gonna scold him again, All Might trying to calm the kid down. In the end, he managed to do that and explained to him everything, one for all, and how he stepped into saving someone without thinking. In the end, Izuku just wondering what does All Might really want. So All Might offers him his quirk, one for all, which angers Midoriya, saying, "Now you offer me my quirk after all what you did to me, scalding me 2 times and one in front of the news reporters, and all of that." Midoriya just getting angry, just thinking that this is some sort of a pity from All Might at him, while All Might trying to tell him that this is your chance to be a hero, to achieve your dream. Don't you want to be a hero? I give you the chance to be one. As Midoriya was about to scream at him again, but for a minute he just calms down and realized the power of All Might. All Might is the unbreakable hero, the symbol of peace, and it's all thanks to his quirk. It will be really bad if that quirk fell into the wrong hand, would it? So, after thinking a bit, Midoriya decided to agree to All Might's offer, All Might telling him to meet him tomorrow at Deku Beach. And when All Might left the place, Midoriya said in his mind that he will not gonna use this power. He will use it, yes, but not for the greater good, but to break the society that All Might built, to destroy those that have hurt him in this whole life. And he will enjoy it. It's almost as if God have listened to his words and cries for help. And now he has his power on a plate of gold, will be served from the #1 hero himself. After which he returned to his home. Next day on Deku Beach, Midoriya thought that All Might will give him his quirk immediately, but he started training him, and training him he does. And Midoriya really does hate All Might deep down, but he keeps the smile of the pure innocent child on his face. Every time All Might telling him to do something, he does it, but he does it doubles with the effort. Even when All Might telling him that's enough for today, Midoriya goes back into his home, in the middle of the night goes to clean Deku Beach even in the middle of the night, sometimes training in the forest in his free days, and drinking a lot of milk because All Might told him that one for all might break all his bones and body if he is not ready for it. Regardless, with all these factors being put together and Midoriya's determination to just get the quirk and leave All Might in the dust, he managed to clean Deku Beach in a span of 9 months, which is very impressive for All Might. After which All Might gave him his quirk by feeding him a hair of his head, and told him to return here tomorrow to see if the quirk will be, the hair first will be needed to be digested. Regardless, when Midoriya returned to his home, he didn't listen to All Might's words, as if he will ever listen to him. So he left into the forest and started trying to throw a punch, trying to use the quirk, just trying and trying and trying, before just screaming at himself, cursing this quirk, telling it to just work already. And he managed to throw a punch, which created a giant crater in the forest. But suddenly a shock of pain hits him, and he looked to see his right arm broken, which when he returned home were very, very hard to explain. Next morning, he gone to meet All Might, and All Might seeing his broken arm, wondering what he did. Midoriya trying to sound innocent, saying that he was too excited to the fact that he finally got a quirk. He just tried it out and the result was as he can see. All Might saying that, it's alright and everything, take him to UA for the recovery girl to heal him immediately and back into some training. Midoriya finally figured the fact that he can, instead of just breaking a whole arm, he could break a finger instead. Still painful as hell, but it's better. And when he returned back into his home, he was about to just, screw off and leave All Might in the dust, but the fact that this quirk need more training, and the fact that the only person that knows everything about this quirk is All Might, made him continue keeping this persona of a good child in front of him, which means that he'll gonna have to go to UA entrance exam, and going to that exam he did. And when he got into the fake city to start fighting robots, he started breaking his fingers. using every finger in his hands, breaking robot after robot after robot until all of his fingers just got broken. And yet his determination is not broken, so he's still using these already broken fingers to destroy more robots. He's gonna have himself a spot in the Class 1A no matter what, even if he'll gonna have to use his feet's fingers. All Might watching this through the cameras, and Principal Nezu asking if that's his successor, with Aizawa saying that that's a bit too risky to do all of that. All Might telling that Midoriya is a bit of a reckless kid sometimes, but he's smart and also very heroic. Besides, he have a determination of steel. Maybe he can break his fingers, but One for All could never break his spirit. Which that was right, until he finally saw the zero pointer. And when he saw it, he saw someone under a rubble in front of the zero pointer about to be crushed, seeing this as a chance to prove himself as a hero for All Might, because he knows that he is watching, and the more that he do of a heroism and put himself on the line, the more that All Might will trust him, the more that UA will trust him. So he decided to go forward, jumping using One for All in his legs, which caused him to fly up in the air, throw the Detroit smash into the zero pointer face before start falling from the sky, as he was trying to use another finger to, soften his fall, but his fingers are already so much broken, he can't even move his other hand's fingers. So he just closed his eyes waiting for the worst before the girl that he just saved slapped him on his face, saving him from the fall by her quirk. After which Recovery Girl healed both of them and everything happened the same, with Midoriya saying in his mind that, that was a hard fight, but if that doesn't get him a place in UA, he doesn't know what will. And even if he didn't get a place in UA, he is sure that sacrifice that he did and almost getting himself killed to save someone in danger will almost make All Might completely trust him. After all Might still didn't give him the apology. But regardless, Midori goes back into his home, sleeping the night wondering what will happen in his next day. And, you guys tell me what will happen in the next day, because this is our, what was again the name of this video? Man, my short memory. Whatever. This is the end of this, recap video. You watched the rest of the videos, and I just needed to make this for those that have watched this series and doesn't know where the hell is the first part. It's not really very complicated, and there was a lot going on in the first part, but I just summarized it in these couple of minutes. I have nothing more to say then. I will be back on the channel a lot, and I'm sorry for all that time that I spent not existing. But I already explained that in my community on Discord and other places. Even here on YouTube, I just send a message on my channel. Just read it and you'll understand everything, because when I make a video, I don't want to make it a video about me rumbling about how sad my life is and that I am an emo or something like that. I want to make a fun video, and that's why I don't waste my time explaining all of these things here. Regardless of that, I have nothing more to say than Severed was here.